We're live on X and YouTube. People joining X, if you can hear me, if you can chat, put a 1 in the chat. I tried to enable X live streaming chat. So we're going to see if that works. Big crypto whales making moves, everybody. Elon Musk, Starlink just moved $270 million of Bitcoin. Pulsechain, Richard Hart moved 160,000 Ethereum, valued over $500 million. And now, just today, the Ethereum Foundation, Vitalik Buterin, is yet again dumping his ETH for the Ethereum Foundation. Dumping it again like every other founder, besides Richard Hart, of course. Just dumping it, hurting the price. I want to be very clear, the Pulsechain sacrifice wallets just moved the Ethereum. They didn't sell it. Some of it went through Tornado Cash a while ago. We don't know what's going to happen with that, but we know what happened with the Ethereum Foundation. They dumped about 160,000, which... Here's the really eerie coincidence, guys. Both the Sacrifice wallet and the Ethereum Foundation, within 2 days of each other, dumped the same amount of ETH / moved. So the Pulsechain Sacrifice moved 160,000 Ethereum. The Vitalik Ethereum Foundation dumped 160,000 Ethereum, all within 2 days of each other. Check this out. We're going to screen share. This is the strategic Ethereum reserve, and you've got the founder, Richard Hart, tweeting that. He's actually tweeting at Vitalik, which is very interesting. We're going to cover all of it. They're no longer in the top 3 and 4 and 5 spot. Well, actually, looks like Ethereum still has... Maybe I need to refresh this. Maybe it's time to update the data. Well, last I checked, the Ethereum Foundation actually had sold. So this number probably hasn't updated yet. But you can see Pulsechain no longer in the top 5, moving all the way down to number 52. Very intentionally. Very intentionally. Why is this? Why did this happen? Hey, what's going on, family? Thomas in the chat says, Turtles Assemble. Conspiracy Crypto, what is going on? I think I'm following you over on Zora. Hex Rockstar says, mic clipping. Mic clipping. Let me try to turn this down a little. Okay. I lowered the decibels just a little bit, so hopefully you don't have to deal with that anymore. So I want to go over to Twitter right now and just read something. Richard Hart tweeting just a few days ago. Actually, just today. If you don't buy and hold Ethereum, you're not Ethereum aligned. It's really that simple. So, what is he saying? The Ethereum Strategic Reserve, guys. What is this? Well, Strategic Reserve. These are companies that are supposed to be committed to not dumping the price. Kind of like how Strategy only buys Bitcoin, they don't sell it. Well, all these other companies, Bitcoin, Bitmine, SharpLink, the Ether Machine, these guys are buying Ethereum. And maybe... if you planned on selling Ethereum, maybe you wouldn't want to be on a strategic ETH reserve website. So maybe you could read between the lines here. Vitalik as well. Very strange move to sell within 2 days. I'm not sure what his motives are other than business as usual. I mean, he's always dumping. We know Vitalik's always dumping. And the Ethereum Foundation, which is strange, right? Because the developers are apparently only getting paid like $105,000 a year. Like they could be getting paid double or triple that anywhere else. And you ask yourself, where are all these millions of dollars going? So yes, probably to fund new projects, grants, research, all that stuff. It does seem a little vague, however. I mean, it's not really up to us to be able to track. I mean, that's the way these foundations work. They don't always have to say exactly where all the funds are going to the public. And you would hope that they're going to fund new protocols and new wallets and privacy tech. But is there anything weird going on behind the scenes? I hope not. I've always viewed Ethereum as being neutral, but you never know. What's up, Archie? Good evening, sir. Conspiracy Crypto, Rockstar says the mic is much better. Let me know if my audio is okay. If you're coming in from YouTube, let me know. But if you're coming in from X, drop a 1 in the chat so that I know that the X chat is working. I need to get this figured out because a lot of you guys watch on X. A lot of y'all are Twitter addicts. X addicts. Not as many people on YouTube these days. You know, the educational platform. So, big sacrifice wallet moves, guys. And on top of this, Starlink, Elon Musk's company, moving 270 million of Bitcoin. Whales are splashing around. When whales splash around, it's newsworthy. People write news about it. Sounding good, says Archie. Very good, very good. All right, then. Now, let's talk about what has been happening in crypto today. Pulsechain sacrifice. Again, they moved the Ethereum. What else? What else, guys? Big news. The Kadana crash. The Kadana crash, guys. From 2016. This was a blockchain, proof of work, heavily insider funded. It was basically a scam chain that just shut down operations the other day. So if your chain can shut down operations, Kadana blockchain, guys. Let's take a look at the KDN price, because this is not pretty. Oof, look at this chart. Yikes. It was 21 cents just yesterday, and now trading at 8 cents. So about a 60% drop based on the news that the Kadana Foundation really doesn't give a shit anymore. Not like they ever did. And this is so much of crypto that I want to expose, right? Because if your coin has a centralized entity that relies on keeping the lights on, it is not a real cryptocurrency. So the Pulsechain has no central foundation, no central guy running all the nodes or making sure all the marketing is happening. That's up to the community, which we do a good job. So you can bet that Pulsechain is going to be around. It's going to be resilient because it's already survived basically the final boss of crypto, which is, what is it, guys? The SEC, as we all know. So if Pulsechain could beat the SEC in court and get dismissed by a judge, survive 80% down, and have a community that just keeps building, just keeps getting stronger like cockroaches, that's what you want to look for in a cryptocurrency, not some VC funded grift that is really just they're paying other people to care. And I don't really know who cared about Kadana so much. I haven't heard much about it, but yeah, about 1 month ago, about 2 weeks ago, it was 35 cents. Today it is 7 cents, down 80% in the last month. Now, it makes me grateful to be holding chains like Pulsechain with real people, real communities, real DeFi, real decentralization, but I don't know how many people are actually holding KDA. You just got to be grateful for all the people compare themselves to all the coins that went up, the 1 in 1,000 that went up. And they pretend like everyone's winning besides them. That's just a self-victimizing thing. The better way to look at it is be grateful that you're not in all this other garbage that's even worse. You know, people are losing everything leverage trading. They're losing all their money because they're gambling, leverage trading. Or a lot of meme coin guys lose a lot of money too. But stuff like this is also newsworthy because you're like, man, if people had their whole hopes and dreams locked up in Kadana and the foundation didn't even care about it, that's just that's a rough day. That's a rough day. In other news, James Wynn of losing in leverage trading fame has been talking to the Pulsechain bros on X, in X Spaces. So shout out to KR and everybody that runs those Pulsechain Spaces, Panos, all the guys in there, Famous, or what, all the people talking to James Wynn. This guy has a lot of followers. Let's talk about James Wynn. Now, why is he a main character in crypto? I think it's ridiculous. He just loses money. He leverage trades. Honestly, the whole account might be a psyop for all we know. 450,000 followers, because I guess it's relatable to be a total degenerate for all these crypto guys. But hey, he was spotted just the other day in a Pulsechain Twitter Spaces. So what does he know? What does he know that other people might not know? He's paying attention, guys. Andrew Tate, Ivan on Tech, Grant Cardone, James Wynn, these guys are paying attention. Crypto Man ran. All these people have heard about Pulsechain. They're waiting to see. A lot of them probably got a just in case bag, just in case it goes up, just in case Richard pulls a magic trick out of his top hat. And a lot of people gave up on it. We saw Ivan on Tech basically capitulating. The reason Ivan gives us so much shit now is probably because he sold. And that's what people do after they sell. They complain, they whine, they try to take others out with them. That's at every level. Ivan on Tech, 500,000 followers, or just your average pleb with 20 followers. They all act the same. They whine and cry and are looking for a reason to sell, and then they sell, and then they like FUD everybody around them. It's a cancerous behavior, so don't let that affect you. True believers are who wins. True long-term conviction believers are who wins in crypto. Interesting that James Nguyen is also tweeting about Gary Cardone. The Cardone family. A lot of these people are connected when you're at the echelon of elites. Everyone knows everyone. Liberty Swap coming out with a privacy-preserving cross-chain bridge, LibertySwap.finance. Check this out. I have reason to believe that Liberty Swap is cooking up something big. LibertySwap.finance. Can I spell finance right? So this is the bridge, okay? This is where everyone's bridging from Base to Pulsechain, from Solana to Pulsechain. You bridge in 2 seconds. It's private. It's very hard to trace your transactions. Now, they're going to be using their fees to buy the Peacock token. They're also implementing automated buy and burns and something else really big, a really interesting feature. On top of this, launching their Peacock token on the Base network, exposing it to the Base app with new liquidity pools. All this stuff is strategic. And that's why Top Hat is so heavily bonded in liquidity to Peacock token, because Liberty Swap is, in my opinion right now, for crypto natives, for people that understand crypto, if you're already on Solana, this is the #1 way to get into Pulsechain. If you're already on Base, you can bridge in from all these other chains, Arbitrum, Solana, BSC. So if you show Liberty Swap, you are indirectly benefiting the Peacock token, which is why I now have a position. Very interesting coin. They've got an on-ramp too, ZK peer-to-peer. If you guys have any questions in the chat, I'll take questions also. RH memes, 10,000x, 1,000x. SEC not the final boss. Who is? The holders. The holders are the final boss. Maybe the sellers are, not the holders. OBX says, thank you, Coffee, for your continuous efforts and support for the community. Thank you, OBX Reaper. Eddie Mann says, careful following Andrew Tate on advice. You'll never get a girlfriend. Well, a lot of people don't like Andrew Tate. That's for sure. But one of his wallets was tracked once upon a time. People forget this. They tracked one of his old wallets back and found that. Yes, he does lose money leverage trading. Okay. Tate's a degenerate, just like everyone else. But he was yield farming on PulseX with like a couple $100,000. This is a true story. I don't really care to dig it up because it's going to take a long time. What's up, Hexy Cat? How you doing? What's up, Vandy? What's up, Audio Talks? YouTube is good. X too funky. What does that mean? What else, guys? What else? Shout out to all my subscribers over on X as well. Guys, you just gotta buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. This is the hardest thing to do. People want to sell low and buy after it pumps. Look at the gold rush. Look at people lining up out the door for gold. That literal retail top signal. Now, like, the US government might still be buying it, so it might not be the top. But we're in a weird market. Very strange times. Just look at also the big players, the institutional players. Tom Lee, BlackRock, Bitmine, Sharplink Gaming. They're scooping up billions of Ethereum. Billions of dollars worth. Millions of ETH. Everyone's expecting an Ethereum pump. Yes, it's still below 4K. Is it excruciating? Absolutely. But when ETH pumps, guys, people positioned in newer, riskier stuff, other people think it's risky. But it's got low liquidity by design. It's more pumpable. It's newer. It's got a rabid community. Fanatics. People love Pulsechain. Very emotional, very charged up, very invigorated spirits in the Pulsechain community. That's the stuff that's going to get attention when people start seeking the riskier, newer stuff with more potential to pump. So it always starts with ETH. When people get their money on chain, off of exchanges, they see ETH pumping, they say, well, okay, well, ETH pumped 2 or 3x. Now I'm looking for something that can pump even more, and they have what's called a wealth effect. Because everybody's bags are bigger. Everyone holding ETH and altcoins, they've got a slightly more inflated bag. Let's say their bags went up double or triple. Then they start looking for the degen stuff, and then retail does get in at some point. Not yet, much to the chagrin of many. So that's why I'm positioned here, positioned in Hex. Hex pays you to hold it. Time locking, staking, saves you from your own psychology. Earning my little 2, 3, 4% yield, my staking ladder. You know, that's what the hexagons are all about. We're stuck here for 15 years. For better or worse. Chains are going down, guys. AWS is going down. What else is going on in crypto? Polymarket, Kalshi. Those are making headlines a lot. Wouldn't it be cool if a prediction market came to Pulsechain? Maybe someone's building it. Maybe I know a guy. Get ready, guys. Standard Chartered in Hong Kong launching virtual ETFs. Everybody's launching ETFs. We're getting to the stage where blockchains probably need applications to be adopted. When we really want the retail wave to come in, what are they going to come in for? Do people really get excited about transactions per second and blockchain, you know, decentralized architecture? Now they get excited about coin has dog, coin can pump hard, and eventually they're going to move to the application layer. So there's going to start becoming the Facebook of crypto. But for now, it's institutional money, positioning. Everyone's launching their own stablecoin now. These stablecoins are another bullish thing about Ethereum. Here's what, I mean, for some reason, bears can't understand this. Crypto bears have a hard time understanding that the entire world's monetary supply is going to be tokenized on chain, and that chain is Ethereum, and EVM compatible chains. There's already billions and billions of dollars. Let's pull up the DeFi llama. Check this out. Stablecoin circulating total in crypto. It just goes up. Up, up, up. The higher this goes, the more likely that ETH is clearly the winner. You can't really launch stables on Bitcoin. So $300 billion of total stablecoin market cap. Tether, USDC, Athena. And most of these stables, over half, are on the ETH network. Look at the ETH network. 164. That's about, yeah, just over half. So when Ethereum pumps, everything else gets to pump. See what I mean? Tokenized real world assets, tokenized real estate, tokenized stocks. It's all happening on Ethereum. What do I really think about the RH memes narrative? It's not a bad idea. Let me show you guys something on dexscreener.com. So the very first deployer of pump.tires, this is the Pump Fun clone over on Pulsechain. Oh my God, get out of here. Stop. Oh wow, I'm on a scam website, guys. Look out. So dexscreener.com. We'll hop over to, like, when you look up one of these meme coins, here's the interesting part. Pepe token, most popular meme coin of all time, debatably. It's like Shiba, Pepe, Dogecoin. Now what happens when you look up Pepe in the Dex Screener Explorer? You get the RH Pepe, the Pulsechain version. So the reason that the first deployer of Pump Tires made a copycat of all the primary coins, like there's a Bitcoin ticker, you got an Ethereum, an ETH ticker, a BTC ticker, Doge ticker. All these coins, they steal, they borrow mindshare when you're searching for a coin. You know, let's say you're searching for Pepe, maybe on the base chain, but you find the one on Pulsechain instead. So it's kind of a free advertisement for people coming in. Who knows? Maybe people understand that Pepe on Ethereum has $45 million of liquidity, whereas Pepe on Pulsechain has $113,000 of liquidity. So which one can pump harder? It's pretty obvious. The Pulsechain one can pump way harder because it's newer, lower liquidity. If you try to move up Pepe, it requires millions and millions of dollars, whereas a single $1 million of coming into Pepe could like 10x the price, 100x the price. We got people dumping it, of course, but let's look at the daily chart. This one actually had a pretty good recovery. I find the Pepe meme, the RH Pepe meme, to be pretty funny. These guys do go hard at memes. And certain ones are more or less funny. For example, ADA. Look at this. We've got fake Cardano over on Pulsechain, which is hilarious because Charles Hoskinson got so triggered by this. Look at this. If Richard Hort's meme coin flips the real flourishing layer 1, I will quit crypto forever. This guy is so easily triggerable. We love to poke fun at Mr. Charles, and I hope it happens. You know, I hope Pulsechain Cardano flips real Cardano. Of course, everything's dumped. Everything dumps from the moment it launches, but this meme coin might do something. This is one of those OG Richard Hart memes. When people say RH memes, they're talking about the first 8 or 12 or so memes that were deployed on Pump.Tires. Thomas says, is Coast good to me? Yeah, Coast is good to me. So people don't know this. We have our very own exchange. 0xcoast.com. 0xcoast. And this is our very own non-custodial exchange. My God. 0xcoast.com. There we go. Get to the landing page. So there's an on-ramp and an off-ramp. If you've got stablecoins, if you want to connect your bank and wire transfer, ACH, Zelle, what else? WireX. Not WireX. What do you guys have in Europe? Revolut? That's what it was. There's all these different ways you can buy Pulsechain. You can even use Ethereum stablecoins. You could use USDC on Ethereum and you could buy Pulsechain directly into your wallet. So the thing about this exchange is that it doesn't ever hold your funds on the exchange. The problem with exchanges is that they hold your funds. They try to get you trading all day. Coast is really more of an on-ramp than an exchange. It's called an exchange, but really it's an on-ramp. They've got their own stablecoin if you want to mint their own stablecoin. They've got a Pateus, a DEX aggregator widget inside there. Really great product. Fiat on-ramp, you could sell back to your bank account. So it's an off-ramp too. I've used it in both directions, buying and selling. So it works great, I can confirm. And also the cool thing is that they allow you to link your business account. So you can link your EIN and you can start buying crypto as a company. You could become the very first strategic Pulsechain reserve company if you wanted to. So it's great for everybody, guys. Investors, developers, advocates, onboards, hexagons, yeah. Great project. They've also got a balancer fork called Tide. Some pretty interesting liquidity opportunities here. So check this out. If you're looking to deposit in yield-bearing pools, right now Hex is paying out 23%. And the thing about these pools, for example, is that the buy Hex pool, this minimizes, it lowers, it doesn't eliminate impermanent loss. You're still going to have impermanent loss if Hex goes up really high, but you're going to have less impermanent loss than you would have had if you joined a 50-50 Pulse X pool. So some of these APRs are attractive over here because you can put your coins to work. Typically larger holders like to do this, but anybody can do this. 80% Hex, 20% CST, or 80% Pulse, 20% CST. CST is the stable coin, and then the other coin being an 80% weight versus a traditional 50% weight. What happens over here is if Hex does a 10x, oh shit, we got some people in the chat. I'll get to you in a minute. I'm just explaining how balancer works. Basically, if Hex does a 10x, you have more exposure to Hex, so you're not going to lose as much of your precious Hex if it goes up really high. You still will, but you're getting paid 23% APR for that risk. So be careful with this, but just another cool option, stuff being built. MFS, can you talk to the facts around who created the pump tires and RH memes as far as we know for facts? Thank you for the $5 Australian. There's not many facts to really be known. So all we know is that Pump.Tires launched. Okay, and the moment the Pump.Tires launched, nobody knew it was out. Richard Hart tweeted about Pump.Tires being out. So that's what happened. So you have a tweet and you have whoever built it. Now, Richard Hart's not a developer. People need to understand this. He might work with developers. He might talk to them. He might have told them, who knows, to build something. I don't know. But there was Pump Tires. There was a Richard Hart tweet. Then everybody came in to Pump.Tires and realized, oh, there's already 12 coins here. So the very first 12 coins, before anybody knew about it, are often referred to as Richard's coins, even though in reality, they're probably just the developer. Now, was there a strategic reason why it was like Doge, ADA, Most, Pepe? Maybe just to take that SEO spot for the commonly traded ticker symbols, just like I showed you. So when people search Pepe, maybe the Pulsechain Pepe shows up first. But it's kind of a misnomer to call them Richard Hart's memes. Most likely they're Richard Hart's developers. Like Most, Pump, Trump. Let's see, even Trump. Look, Trump Coin on Solana, and then you've got Trump Coin from Pump Tires. This was one of the original 12. Pretty sure there were 12. Yo, Thomas, thanks so much for the $5 tip. He says, I'm loving Coast. Just wanted to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I love Coast too. Very persistent team. They do have the ability to get the next... I mean, they've already generated $11 million of buy pressure to the ecosystem, native stablecoins. So CST is great. Currently, CST minting is paused. I really want that to come back. I think the Genius bill caused some legal delays or something. But you can still buy. You can still buy and sell on Coast all day. Right from your bank account. ACH, wire transfer, whatever you want. Crypto Freedom, good morning, coffee. LFG, rocket, rocket, rocket emoji. Hashtag Pulse, hashtag PulseX, hashtag Hex. Yes, indeed. Duke of Booze is in the house. I was wondering where you were, Duke of Booze. Joe says this is the best Hex channel. Coffee should bring back the bandana. Maybe I will. I need to find me a top hat is what I need to find. Jim Horton says, Coffee, always watch your streams. What's my take on Richard and a stable coin? I think he would make his own. That does seem to be the... if he did make one. He probably has a list of ideas. But here's the thing. It's like anybody can create a stable coin. There's white labeled centralized stable coins that they're starting to allow, like bridge.xyz. They're starting to allow people to list native stable coins and issue them on chain. Now for a decentralized stablecoin, well, we've got 4 on chain already, but who knows? Maybe Richard's got something on his to-do list. Deployer wallet, pump tires, the 20 memes, etc. Tate is still farming on PulseX, says Zachary. What do I think about the Interpol updates? Interesting. There were Interpol updates, weren't there? It was like October 2nd, something had been processed in the system. Now, you do see Richard on Twitter being a little more responsive to people. I don't know if that's correlated, but the timing does seem a little bit coincidental. Look, we all know the RH red notice is BS. It wasn't even filed by Finland. It was filed... Finland's a party to the case, so it's corruption at the highest level. It's probably something to do with the corrupt three-letter agencies in the USA filing the case in the first place. One thing we know is that Richard's got the best lawyers, Quinn Emanuel, same lawyers as Trump, same lawyers that defeated the SEC. So if these guys are going after Interpol now next to get that cleared up, it's only a matter of time. I wish we had more than just a little API update, because that's all we got. There's not any documentation to follow, so I really don't have anything that you guys don't have, other than the fact that everybody seems fine. Richard seems safe. The community seems fine. Everything seems perfectly normal, except for we need to clear that up. And by we, I mean some lawyers probably somewhere. Eddie's calling somebody a simp. Cool. Pookie Doo, what's happening? Yanis Kostis. Is that a Greek name? What's up, Coffee? Pulse guys in the house. Yeah, Pulse guys. How's your chart looking? Just a Pulse guy. Here it is. Hey, not bad. A little recovery there. Little 3x. This is a meme coin with an actual community behind it. Believe it or not. It's very, very low liquidity. That could be a blessing and a curse. So I think it's a pump tires meme. Yeah, it's a pump tires meme. They've got a cool trading bot. We've got a cool volume generator bot. So check out it. The one cool thing that I think they've built is this volume bot in Telegram, which might still be in progress. But yes, very interesting. Very good. Let's go to the regular pulse chain. Let's see what's pumping today. Bye. PulseX. Is that really PulseX, or is this the pump tires PulseX? Yeah, it's the pump tires PulseX. He made meme coins of his own coins. There's a Pump Tires Hex. There's a Pump Tires PLS. There's a Pump Tires PLSX. Maybe so that nobody else would. So that nobody else would try to... I don't know. Very strange. The real PulseX. Down 6%. Womp. Depressing. Depressing times. I almost don't even want to look at prices right now. It's just bad. It's rough out there, guys. Can we have an update on how many tablets? As far as I know, maybe 100K? Just over? You're gonna see more in the future. That's all I'll say. Joe says, I wish PulseX V1 paid high APR on INC. Yeah, well, it was deliberately lowered. That's the thing about INC tokens. If you look at the yield farms, check this out. app.pulsex.com. And I can't spell anything right today. It's this keyboard. I blame the keyboard. So if you go to app.pulsex.com and the yield farms on V1, you can see the highest you've got is 11% on USDT Pulse. So not terrible, but these used to be all, I don't know, 5, 6, 7x higher. Used to be 50% APR. Very, very high. And that was lowered deliberately, and the effect that had, you can see right on the info chart right here. You can actually pinpoint the moment INC rewards were lowered. Look what happened to the liquidity, guys. This is over in March 2025, March and April. So in January, liquidity was 300 million on PulseX. In April, went all the way down to 40 million. What happened? Why did it get cut by 1/6? Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. Oh, never mind. I heard some kind of an alarm. Thought it was a fire alarm. Oof. My heart rate's gone up. BTFD commented Top Hat. Yes. How's Top Hat doing? Top Hat's not as wrecked as everything else lately. Look. We've even got a little gain over here. The Top Hat Peacock pair. Ever since it's been joined to Peacock, guys. It's been going up and to the right. Not too much history there. Look, the top hat stays on, okay? The top hat stays on the cock, whether you like it or not. I almost hope that, you know, the less volume you have, the less sell pressure you have. So, seems to be that top hat is in strong hands. Seems that way. InkD not Richard. Is InkD not Richard's stablecoin? Well, InkD is just a community-made fork of Liquidity. The Liquidity protocol basically powers 4 stablecoins: USDL, HexDC, PXDC, and InkD. These are all stablecoins backed by the core assets. So you can mint a stablecoin backed by Pulse, backed by PulseX, backed by Ink. You can do all this stuff, but they're not technically Richard's stablecoins. What do I think of RH Doge? Alright. I guess I'll just look at all of them, huh? Let's see how good the SEO is. Doge. Hey, look at that. Pulsechain comes up first. Now, this is like an EVM explorer. The actual Doge coin itself is like this bastard chain of... It's a fork of Litecoin, I want to say. It's really, really not that secure even. It's merge mined, meaning like people mine it. When they're mining Litecoin, they're also mining Doge sometimes. They share like hash power, if I remember correctly. You've got the Department of Government Efficiency coin. You guys remember when that was a meme? And this is probably one of the many Solana memes that just died forever. Yeah, just death. This is Solana, okay? This is a Solana chart. This is a Pulsechain chart. You've actually got people here trading this for whatever reason. If you like tickers with Doge, spelled D-O-G-E with a little dog coin on them. If you want to buy a dog JPEG, why don't you buy your dog JPEG on Pulsechain? Crypto Knight says coffee emoji. Thomas says buy the fear. Indeed. It's taken longer than we want. But if you buy the fear, you get to sell into the greed when that time comes. People act like crypto's going away or something. You guys understand crypto's not going anywhere. Crypto is it's only getting bigger. So to be selling right now doesn't make any sense at all, especially when you're holding an Ethereum copy. Ethereum's the testnet for Pulsechain. Like, what you're holding is the best technology with the best roadmap, and you're holding a safer version of it that lets Ethereum update first, and then eventually will take the updates that are the best and absorb them into Pulsechain. It's got a more active community. It's got less, I would say less risk from less centralization risk. More opportunity, more price potential, which is all anybody cares about because it's so lowly liquid. It's so new. Cheaper, faster, of course. Although most chains are cheaper and faster than Ethereum nowadays, except for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is slow. Freshly shaven, I see. Yeah. Freshly shaven. Eddie Man says, time to buy? Well, if I had more dry powder, I really would. I'm kind of just coasting along. But yeah, if you're brand new coming in, this is how real wealth positions are built at times like this. Doge is a fork of a fork. Isn't Litecoin a fork of Bitcoin and Dogecoin's a fork of Litecoin? Let's learn together. Doge is a fork of Litecoin. Yes, I was right. Which itself is a fork of Bitcoin. Dogecoin was created as a hard fork of the now defunct Lucky Coin, which was a fork of Litecoin. This means a fork of Bitcoin. Interesting. So Lucky Coin, technically. Yeah, coasting along, right? Coasting. Just 0x coasting along. Hey guys, are you coming in from Twitter? Let me know. If you're able to comment on X, please let me know. Back to the news. Anything interesting happening? Not a whole lot of interesting stuff going on today, guys. Richard Hart making some more tweets. Richard's been talking about crypto Twitter. When are you publicly going to give us a shout out for having better uptime and reliability for 5 years? Now is okay with me. That's right, 100% uptime. Didn't go down with all the AWS stuff. Amazon Web Services crashed. A lot of cryptos crashed with it. They're all hosted. All the nodes were hosted on there, or all the front ends, or whatever it might be. Over reliance. Pulsechain's never had a problem. Pulsechain's currently up. All right, y'all. Where are you guys? Where's the chat? There it is. What's the last book I read? I was reading Outlive by what's his face? You know, what's his face? Outlive, The Science of Art and Longevity by Peter Attia. Pretty good book. Pretty good book. Definitely interested in this topic, longevity. Duke of Booze says, I commented on X and it worked for me. Thank you, Duke of Booze. Thank you. The one guy that answered my question. I appreciate you very much, Mr. Duke. Archie says, some BTC maxis are saying ETH was down with the AWS thing. Maxis are going to say that, but they don't know what they're talking about. Maybe some website was down. Maybe some nodes were down. But were all the nodes down? That's what decentralized means. You got so many nodes running on different platforms, different parts of the world. That, yeah, some might have gone down. A lot of them probably are hosted on AWS for sure, but not all of them. What was the news? RE ETH Foundation moving ETH. Well, the ETH Foundation dumped it. Didn't they? Ethereum Foundation dumps ETH. I can go find it. Everybody's always got their pitchforks for them. Oh, look, Limitless. Limitless prediction market dumps their tokens too on Aerodrome. It's like nobody can even hold their coins. Not even the founders believe in their coins. Crypto is such a joke. Limitless is this hot new prediction market. Probably just same centralized BS as everything else. What the hell? There's a loud noise going on. What's with XRP and Hex? I don't know what you mean. Do I think we'll need RH streaming again for 10,000x? I actually don't think it's required. I think buy pressure is required. And I think when retail comes back, people forget how quickly sentiment can change. People really forget how when we're 5x higher from here, everyone's going to be shilling. Everyone's going to be passionate. We're going to be so back. People simply like to buy high in crypto. They don't like discounts. Random question. Have I ever watched the YouTube channel, The Y Files? I love The Y Files. I think we should convert the host to Pulsechain somehow. Well, Mr. Alkis, if you have an idea of how to do that, I am all ears. Typically that requires reaching out to people, knowing somebody that knows somebody. I do love the Y-Files guy. It'd be pretty cool if we could get him, what is his name, AJ? AJ Gentile? Yeah, it'd be really cool to get him doing Pulsechain stuff. But you got to reach out to him. Go reach out to his media team. Send a letter. Maybe if a bunch of us do, maybe he'll have to take a look. Ricky Romero says, what's up, Coffee? Last week of October, we moon. Oh, fuck, I hope so. I hope so, but not likely. Yeah, I guess October was canceled this time, guys. Maybe we get Upvember. Let me show you the FedWatch tool on the screen here. You are going to have 2, maybe 3 drops. Okay. The Federal Reserve is going to lower interest rates with 98% certainty. They're going to lower them in 7 more days. And this is probably going to happen 1 or 2 more times in their, look, in their December meeting. There's a 58% chance of 2 and a 48% chance of 1 more drop after this next one. So, pretty good. Pretty good odds there. Pretty good odds. Krill says, is the marketing campaign scheduled for whole 2025? Yes. It's going to go as long as it needs to go. But there's a lot left. There's a lot left to it. It's not really scheduled. Oh, you said 2026. I mean, hopefully we're done by mid-2026. Hello, Tam Tam. Tam Tam says, hello, my lovelies. Great to see you in the chat. Kryptonite says, this cycle is but a puppy. Some time to go. Yeah, I don't think we're anywhere near over yet. Probably another 6 months at least. It does seem to be that we're lined up with macro conditions. Ethereum's never been a macro asset, but this time it is. ETFs are what push it up. Leverage is what squeezes the volatility out. You've even got places like Athena, for example, does this delta neutral strategy for their stablecoin where they take out a bunch of shorts and they buy spot. So in a way, they're like helping the spot price and also hurting it on the derivative side. It doesn't mean Ethereum can't pump, but it just means the volatility is not going to be like, you might not see an Ethereum God candle. It's going to be a slow grind up to 5K, 6K, 7K. And yeah, maybe you have some good days, some good 20, 30, 40% days. So you want to be positioned for those days. But gone are the times where Ethereum does a 10x in like a week, you know? Eddie Man says, longevity is cool, life is short, keep good people around you. That's right. It's all about health span. Not just lifespan. And we know we're not going to live forever. So longevity is not about living forever. It's about living good for longer and enjoying and staying healthy. More time with the people you love. Kirill says, thank you personally for helping me in the van. No problem. I don't remember that, but you're welcome. Maybe I'm just not thinking of that right now, but I don't know what you mean. The cycle will kick up, says Kryptonite, when printing really gets going. Pulsechain says Unity is the only good thing I see right now. Unity is still in profit for a lot of the long-term creators. So with Unity.win, I played a little game with Unity.win. I put like a little bit of money in here. So it's this interesting game of chicken where if you can create a max length stake. Your earn length at maximum is 88 days. Currently, we are at day 65, meaning there are 23 days left. So about sometime in mid-November, people's 88-day original creates are going to come out. And then you have the option to stake it. And you could earn this crazy high ROI, but you have to factor in all the sell pressure. As of now, yes, we're still in profit. Let's just hope that we're in more bullish times so that the sell pressure doesn't take over versus the people that are coming in. Yeah, this is just one of those degen games, those like side quest type deals. Unity.win on Pulsechain. Xscout.com. Let's go back to the core coins. Anything to be happy about today? Well, they're not down, but they're down in price. Looks like you guys love the sell button. Not you guys in the chat. Oh, Kirill says helping with the tablets campaign. Oh, yeah. No problem, dude. Yeah, a lot of logistical stuff to go on over there. Ethereum is solely moving on Bitminer premium net asset value as it trend closer to 1 and then negative. The ETH bid stops. We're seeing stagnation as their premium continues to drop. It's an interesting assertion to think that Ethereum is only moving on one company's net asset value. There's other companies out there. There's ETF managers that hold a lot more than Bitminer. Than Bitmine. So, careful assuming that one individual company is controlling the entire market. It's a little more complicated in my opinion. If RH won't juice the cogs, nothing will happen. Well, we saw it happen in 2024, didn't we? I think we're going to pump hard last week of October. That's some wishful thinking, Ricky. I hope we do too. Michael Lamont says, don't forget to your PLSB. Bitcoin maxis claim Bitcoin is the best. Don't think so. Okay. There you go. Pulsechain's talking about Unity, better to stake, do some math. I should have held more money back. Yeah, look, I hope Unity keeps going. I hope everything pumps forever. Even if we don't win, which we will, Jesus saved us all. Yeah, okay. Okay. But we will. Just you wait. Wow, I got 1,163 viewers at the lows. At the most depressing time, most uneventful time in the cycle so far. Good job, guys. Proud of you. Great for being here. Thank you. Internet Money Wallet just announced Bitcoin support, if you haven't heard. Internet Money Wallet. InternetMoney.io. This is a multi-chain wallet on Base, Pulsechain, BNB, and now Bitcoin. So if you're a Bitcoin holder, you can hold all the coins you love in this Pulsechain friendly wallet. Getting better and better every day. Shout out to KG. Great update. Interesting choice to support Bitcoin, because I don't really think of Bitcoiners as the friendliest, most inclusive community, but kill them with kindness, I guess. A Pulsechain Gigapump would make this community's voice the loudest in all of crypto, I agree. Look on Chain, with 500,000 followers, is tracking the Pulsechain sacrifice wallet moves. And then Zero Hedge has the nerve to say, did somebody tell the SEC? Zero Hedge, you're a dork. Your 2.2 million followers need to know that Pulsechain beat the SEC. Looks very silly of you to be accusing Pulsechain of any SEC allegations when the case has been dismissed by a judge. But thanks for the free publicity, Zero Hedge. Enjoy the engagement. Where is the bottom? Maybe the bottom's already in. You know, Hex tapped like 0.003 at one point. We're still up at 2x from the bottom. Let me show you guys how far off we are from all-time low. Look at that. Pulse X is up a double. Hex is up a double. And Ink is up a triple from the all-time low. Even PLS is up 4% from all-time low. So who knows? I think the low might be in. The bottom might be in, rather. Pulse X still burning millions. That's always cool. Here, check this out. PulsechainsStats.com. It's a great website. Whoever built Pulsechain Stats, thank you. Look at the PLX coin itself. PLSX, 7.19% of supply. Burnt 1.52 trillion coins. Never coming back. Deflationary only. And the more people trading on PulseX, the DEX, doesn't matter which coin they're trading, they're burning PulseX every time. PulseX is the ultimate utility coin. Imagine if Uniswap had a buy and burn for their Uni token. That's exactly what PulseX is. So if you're a holder of PulseX, you're basically an unofficial partner, affiliate of the DEX. You want more people trading on the DEX because it burns and buys your coin automatically. Again, it does not matter what they trade. All these automation things, this automated buy pressure is great. What will my portfolio look like for the next bear? I don't know. 50% USD, 50% crypto. Everyone thinks they're going to sell more. Everyone says, oh yeah, I'm just going to sell everything at the top. But you don't do that because you never know when the top is. As long as there's, you know, we have enough stables to get by and make yield, you can afford to hold your coins until the next cycle. And will cycles even be the same anymore? Congrats, KG. Way to go, KG. Yep, everybody likes KG. Archie says, can we swap BTC into Pulse now on Internet Money? It's a good question. Can you swap Internet Money Hex to Pulse? I actually do not know the answer to that. But I would like to know. Cross-chain swap. Yes, you can. Cross-chain swap between Bitcoin and 25 other chains. That is pretty cool. So if you want to buy stuff that can pump harder than Bitcoin, you can swap your Bitcoin for other stuff. In my opinion, after Bitcoin already went up 7x and nothing else really had a life-changing pump, might not be the worst idea. If I still had any Bitcoin, I might be considering that. Do I have any kids? No. Not yet. Hex chart's looking good. Yeah. Looking good if you count down 80%. Looking good. But yeah, it's looking fine. Looking like accumulation. Charlie and Miguel claim to always know when the top are. Are they lying? I don't know what they claim. I've never heard them claim anything like that. Archie says, I thought there were cross-chain swaps, not sure about Bitcoin. Well, the advertisement that they posted on X for Internet Money, that says cross-chain swaps between 25 different chains. I also don't know. Look, can someone, some Bitcoin holder can go test that out for us, because I am not a Bitcoin holder. Reef Juicy's still here. That's right, we're all still here. Do I think Bitcoin Hex will pump harder than eHex and pHex? I hope not, but sometimes the most absurd outcome is the most likely. Fun fact, everybody, before Hex was Hex, it was actually named Bitcoin Hex. Before that, it was named CFD token, Computational Fluid Dynamics token. It was going to be useful proof of work was the original idea. And then Richard said, you know what, that's really hard. Why don't I just design some DeFi thing that just pumps? Programmed to pump. And it did pump. And there is some interesting staking dynamics in the smart contract. This Bitcoin Hex here, this is just an homage to... It's a tribute to the original version, the original idea. And this, I think, was the pump tires. Yeah, community takeover, pump tires Hex. There's your little green candle for the day, guys. I think it just went up double in the last couple weeks, couple days. Yeah, just did a 2x. So, well done, you degenerates. Congratulations. That was another one of the OG RH memes. rhmemes.com. This is a website where, hold on. Yeah, rhmemes.com. Here you can see all of the total liquidity for all of them, $2 million. Very low. All very low liquidity. Annoying pop-ups in the corner. Top liquidity pairs are Most, Pump, Pepe, Trump, Die. So there's another Pump Tires Die, which is funny. It's hilarious. Yeah, so these are all of them. I guess there's 20, not 12. Mars, Doge, PLS, Trump, Pepe, Die, TRX, XRP. XRP2? I didn't know there were 2 XRPs. It's so funny that this could easily just be some developer fucking around. And we've just made this huge thing out of it. It could just be nothing. But there you go. If you want to degen, rhmemes.com, I guess. Did I see the stream with the CFD guy way back? I remember that one, yeah. Did I watch the recent interview of Eric Trump about pumping in Q4? It's awesome. Yeah, Eric Trump's been bullish the whole time. Eric Trump has been bullish on crypto. He's basically telling you to buy the dip. Look, if the president's son is telling you to buy the dip, maybe he understands what's going on. Maybe he understands that Trump is causing this short-term volatility, but setting people up, setting crypto up for long-term success. Maybe. Johnny Chaos says change function is enabled for BTC. Not sure what you mean. He was a high IQ scientist or something. Yes, he was. Bitfinesse says if you don't have patience, crypto will teach you patience. Holding and waiting ensures you have a better future. Bought high, just hold. Bought early, just hold. You can't lose, hold spot, and win. That's right. Crypto teaches you patience. You know what taught me patience? Playing Pokemon Yellow version for 8 hours straight and then the batteries die. That's what taught little 5-year-old me patience. When you forgot to save your game after 8 hours of grinding. I was born for Hex. Kryptonite says he had a very clever science math guy with him to help work on the formula for the tokenomics of the CFD token. Yeah, I remember that. And then he decided to pivot. Richard Hart. You know, if something's not working out, Richard's been very known to pivot. He used to be a Bitcoin maxi. Pivoted to Ethereum. Launched his own coin. Then, you know, launched Pulsechain. Tried a couple liquidity pairs. Pivoted away from the PRC20s. Some people still want to hold on to that narrative, but you got to realize the guy is... He'll test something, and if it doesn't work, he will move on. He still very much cares about his creations, though, which are Pulse, Hex, PulseX, and INC token. So, that's one thing I know. That's kind of all you need to know, is that the founder actually gives a shit. Unlike so many of the other guys that just dump. Kadana just gives up. Vitalik dumps ETH. Charlie Lee sells all of his Litecoin. You name it. Every VC insider grift L2. Vesting schedule, unlock schedule, giga dump. It's all the same. Alright guys, make sure you like, subscribe, share the video, leave a comment. We're going to wrap the stream up for today. Thank you all for coming. Congrats for still being here. Hang in there. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And if you need some tech support help or one-on-one questions, or you want to chat with strategy with the group, you got to go subscribe to me over on X. Join my Discord. Support the channel for one, and you'll get more of my one-on-one attention if you've got any questions or, you know, just want to talk shop, buying, selling, yield strategies, all the rest of that. Thanks, Kirill. I appreciate the kind words. Everybody, hang in there. You guys are awesome.